over to GitHub. And so I'm going to go over here to my account, and I'm going to create a brand new repository. So I'm going to call this, for lack of a better name, Git Practice. And I'll just go down here. I'm going to take all the defaults and create this guy. And now it's added this brand new empty Git repository on GitHub. And if I scroll down a little bit, you can say, hey, if you got an existing repo, that's me, then you can add this thing to it. So I can add a remote to that local repository with these commands. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go back to our command line then and say Git Remote Add origin. Okay, so you can kind of see the command I just pasted right there. And what this is doing is it's adding a reference to my local repository to this GitHub project that I just created. And if I do a Git Remote -v, I can actually list out in gory detail all the remotes on my project. The term origin, so you'll see this first token after the add command, is the name, is the logical name of that remote repository. And what this origin is it's simply it's just a moniker, a shorthand. So in the future, when I push or when I refer to that remote, I can just use the origin. That's sort of a convention. It could be anything I want it to be. That word origin doesn't have to be origin. It could be anything. But that's what people do. So now when I want to push, I can use that term origin to say push to that particular branch. And that's what I want to do next. So let's do a git push. And I'm going to push to origin master. All right, and so what's happening now is that local repository with my README and my hello.c has now gotten bundled up and shipped off to my GitHub. So if I go over to GitHub now, to that repository, and I just refresh, bingo. Now that code, that project that was local, is now up here on the internet. Let's take a break, and in our next video, we'll take a look at how to clone an existing GitHub repository to our local machine, and also how to set up a git ignore file to basically ignore files that we don't want to track with Git.